Hello and welcome to the Leaders Season 1 finale. If you're watching, first of all, I'd love to thank all of you for tuning in and being an amazing audience and supporting us from the very beginning. I'm Anusha and I've been working on the Leaders podcast since it began in January of 2021, and it's been an amazing 10 months since. With me today is our amazing host, Scindia Balasingh. Hi, Scindia. Thank you for joining. I mean,
Hi.
you run the show,
Hi.
but yeah. How are you feeling today on our final episode of season 1?
So it's always sitting on the other table is always different feeling, right? Yes. I couldn't believe that almost 24 episodes are done and we are in 25th episode. That is something really commendable from the team's perspective, I should say.
Okay, great. Before we begin today, I would like to take a moment and introduce the people behind the Leaders Show. First of all, I'd like to thank Rahul, who's been an incredible support to the show, from helping us get in touch with guests to coordinating everything. Then there's our wonderful intern, Nirupama, who's been working tirelessly over the past few months, just managing the show's production and scheduling. Then, of course, there's our editing team, Abhishek and Sujan, and our designer, Suraj, who practically did the branding for the entire show and really shaped it together. And a huge shout out to Sai and Shivani, who have just made the show what it is today. It's just been an incredible team working together. And ultimately, Cynthia, a big thanks to you, because if it wasn't for your idea and your enthusiasm, the show wouldn't have been born and, running for a whole successful one whole season. So thank you for that.
Thank you. It's my pleasure and honor, Anisha.
Yeah. So for today's episode, it's just, I have a couple of questions for you, sort of a, reminiscing look back on the whole season. So are you ready for this?
Yes, very excited and all game.
Yeah. So my first question obviously is, in December of 2020, when we started talking about this idea you had, did you have, any clue that MOV leaders would blossom into the show it is today? Did you expect such a long season, or even that the kind of response we've gotten from our audience?
To answer this question, I need to go back, way go back. So as every woman, when I started my career, I had lot of dreams in my eyes, and I wanted to do a lot of things which will change the lives of people and change the life of myself. And I started with much enthusiasm. Then when I stepped into the corporate world, I understood it's not as easy as it feels. So I faced a lot of gender bias, professional misbehaviors. When I try to voice out my opinion, no ears were there to hear the ideas or suggestions I want to make. In the meeting room, lot of time I used to feel I'm alone because they will not allow me to be participative. I used to wonder why it is so. I didn't even understood the concept of diversity, gender bias at that point of time. I was like, why? I was not able to even figure out why. So when I was looking for some female colleagues or female leaders who can guide me, there were not much. And since I have started my career and my mid-year careers and all mostly with the conservative companies, the female colleagues percentage only is very low, and from them also leadership position I have not seen many people. So when I was looking for inspiration, I couldn't find much, and whenever I was talking to them, nobody was inspiring me, rather than everybody was scaring me. And they were saying that, okay, when you get married you will drop the career, and when I got married, then they said when you have a kid you will drop the career. When I had a kid, they said that when the kid grows up you will drop the career. So nobody was encouraging me. When I was passing each and every stage, there were no body to celebrate this also. And even the same fellow women colleagues were saying that you are very selfish, and you are not taking care of your family, you are taking care of yourself, and nobody was encouraging, rather than everybody was discouraging. So that time there was always a thought in me, why women are not inspiring others, and why I'm not able to look up to many women leaders around. Why there is no, is it like there is no women leaders at all, or is there very less percentage? I had a lot of questions in my mind. So when at that time, I should say that I have to just fast forward a little bit and as to come the 2019 December. In fact, I remember that sorry, 2020 December is in fact right. We started this conversation. That time, obviously, the pandemic struck and everybody was moving towards podcast, videos, and also Gush co-founder Pranav approached me for an interview on a Mad Over videos. So it was completely a marketing and about videos interview. And I was also passionately giving the interview because obviously we were also using video as a tool to succeed at that point of time. So I have to proudly call out that still my episode is the highest viewing episode. So Pranav felt very happy about that, and he used to we used to chat after that also. So the community building started from there itself. So that time, one fine day, he was asking me, Scindia, I wanted to launch a niche podcast. What do you suggest? So, should we go something about partner marketing specifically, or what do you think? So that time I told him that this is something I'm looking for, Pranav. If you open a podcast where women leaders come and share their stories, and if you celebrate them, and if they try to inspire us, maybe I'll be very interested in that podcast. Maybe you should start. I can be one of your guests. So this is how it started. So one fine day, Pranav came back and told, "Why don't you only come up with the idea and host it, India?" So I was taken aback. I was like, "Oh my God, I have so much to do, in work, in home, pandemic, difficult situation. I felt like I don't have time." Then mind voice in mind said that you're being very hypocritic, Sindhya. So if you want everything, all this to happen, and you yourself feels that this is not a priority and you don't have time, how is it? I was asking myself. Then I thought, okay, maybe I will turn this as my hobby. I'll start enjoying this. Maybe I'll carve out my personal time or me time into this podcast time. So that's how I said, Pranav, I don't know, Pranav, let's start. I'm not sure how this is going to be because we are going to completely do it as an organic effort. And we are just going to make one social media post. Other than that, we are not going to promote anywhere. So I'm not even sure how the audience will pick up. So let's see. That's how it started. So to be honest, I thought maybe I will do 10 episodes max. That's what I thought in the beginning. Never thought about season one, season two, and all, to be honest. And also, when I shared and socialized this idea in my community, a couple of men colleagues and friends told me that, oh, you have that many women leaders to interview every week. That again was like, oh my God, this stereotyping has to change and we need to do something. Maybe it's a baby step and tiny step, but let's begin it. So I have to say, this is completely made possible by the team behind it. You already introduced everyone, but if I have to repeat certain names, Rahul played an amazing role in reaching out the right guest. That actually turned out in some point of time. Guests started coming and asking that can we be part of your show. So that was the first success I tasted, to be honest. And from there, honestly, I was not having time to put the show outline or do the research about the guest and put the questions around. So you started that, coming up with the question. I hardly spent 10 minutes with you reviewing the outline, giving my suggestions, but you guys make it possible from the branding, editing, coming up with the promo videos in time, promotions, reminding us to promote, share everything. You guys took the lead. And when you had a personal emergency and you wanted somebody else to take over, I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, now what will I do? But Shivani never made me to feel like there was a transition at all. The same goes for Nirupama also. So all three of you made an amazing job because the content is the key for this podcast, and you guys did an amazing job. And similarly, operations. We cannot do high quality operations and productions and everything, right? It's just a StreamYard recording, but you guys did it flawlessly. And it's still, I remember one time the live didn't go well, but you guys quickly came back. You recorded. You guys pull. I was so scared that there will be no views, but again, a good number of views came for that video. So you guys gave a lot of confidence, and I could see still so many guests lined up and they're showing interest. So I was checking with Nirupam also. Should we? stopped at season 1 at 25th episode. Should we do it like 30? And she was saying, Cynthia, when you complete 30, then there will be 10 more guests and you will feel like 40. Then you will like feel like 50. So it's better we will come back with something exciting. So I was thinking, I just pinged a person who told me that, will you have every week a women leader to feature? I told him that, no, season 1 is over here and there's no number of guests are waiting. So that is the success of this. And lot of testimonies came personally. They told like, okay, ma'am, when I started, I was scared. Yeah, somebody is showing me the barriers and how to tackle that. And a lot of people who are coming back after career break told, okay, I'm happy to see so many people have made it possible. Now I also have the confidence that I can do. Those who are facing workplace challenges, they said, lot of information you guys are giving, maybe I should start whistleblowing in my company. If they are not listening, I know that now lot of companies are having good work culture, maybe I should shift. So these kind of incentives is making all of us to run, I guess. So once again, thanks to all the audience for that, and the encouragement from that, and the team behind it made it all possible. I'm just a voiceover.
Yes, India, it's honestly been a great journey. I mean, when we started, we really didn't expect such a response. Yeah. And anyway, here we are. And of course, my next question is, what are 5 simple lessons that you learned over the course of these 25 guests we've had on season one?
Okay, 5 lessons means like, first and foremost, self love is something I learned from a lot of guests like Jayashree, Shivpriya, Angelica. So a lot of guests have showed me like how self love is very important for you to find your inner happiness and to make your ecosystem also to be happy, and how it is going to help you to find your career path, both professional career path as well as personal success. So that is something I really would say as the biggest takeaway I had from most of the guests I met. And next is focus. It is very important. In the beginning of the career, you will not know. Being a fresher, you will just go and latch on to the job, which open doors for you. But slowly you will understand, maybe you want to do something different. So you have to how to shift gears, and still do it rightly, and gain experience and focus on what you want, and go towards it is something I again learned. And third, there will be obvious barriers, right? From family, societal, workplace. You will have a number of barriers, but you should break the barriers and just move forward. That is something I have learned again. And then fourth lesson, if I have to say, always look back, because it's very important that the journey you have come across, that will teach you a lot of learnings, and also that will tell you that which you enjoyed, which you have not, what you could have done better, so how you can make your life or ecosystem life further better. So that is something I enjoy. Not only it is like looking back, but you have to put your experience on practice. That is the fifth and final lesson I would call out. A lot of people who shift gears, they will feel, oh, I was in product, then I moved to sales, now I'm marketing. Marketing, I don't have experience. It's not like that. The all-rounder experience or the different field experience also will bring a lot of different perspective. So a lot of people like Saujanya, um, a lot of leaders who I have come across, I have seen them doing that very successfully and nicely. The last episode, even Ruchi did it very successfully. So these kind of women, actually, whom I was always wanting to look up to for inspiring me. I was so privileged to every week to get inspired on something or the other, and put your experience in practice. One example, if I have to say, I'm good in networking. So Ruchi was telling me, Cynthia, you built a good network. I built a good network. But one thing we are not doing is people who are in need. Maybe we are not leveraging the network which we have built, and connecting right people. Maybe somebody will be wanting a job, somebody will be wanting a resource. Are we connecting them? Right? Are we helping them? So that is something again I thought, okay, experience I always thought is something like skill set, but this is also an asset which we are not leveraging maybe for the ecosystem surrounding. So this is a recent learning I had. So Every episode, I learn something. I'm sure everybody who's watching also are having their own learnings.
Very well said, Cynthia. And okay, the next question is something we, usually wrap up our episodes with. It's what is something you would love to say to the future female leaders?
First and foremost, you have to identify your niche. That will take some time. For few, they will be very lucky like me, who started their career in marketing and they loved it. Maybe from the beginning they know, because I started as an engineer, then as a lecturer, then I know that something to do with the people job I wanted to do, but not HR, not market. As I wanted to do marketing. Went to MBA, started in marketing, but not everybody will get the privilege to choose their career in the beginning. So first and foremost, do your niche study properly and just hear out. Open your eyes, ears, and look around and understand your core capabilities, what you have, and the skill set a particular field is requiring, and just go and explore. Start somewhere. I always tell everyone, just don't wait for the perfect plan or perfect thing to happen in life. That will never happen. Just you need to start and alter as and when it goes. So that is a key advice or suggestion I would give everyone. And the 5 lessons which I already told is something you need to really adapt. And more than that, you should accept your mistakes and just move on, that as a learning. And don't put yourself in a box. Don't try to please everyone. So in the big, that is something everybody will get into the trap when you start your career. So you will want to please your manager, you will want to please your peers, you'll want to do something. When your motive is that, you will never. Just please yourself. How you will love to see yourself. That's how I do. So I love Scindia when she does a podcast. I love Scindia when she helps others. I love Scindia when she bags an award. I love Scindia when she delivers her target 100%. I love Scindia when she mentors her team pretty well. So towards that I will go, instead of making or looking for like satisfying others. And the final and very important lesson: uh, people are loving you, they will understand you, and they will support what you want. If you're not getting an environment where they are not supporting or trusting you, I think you have to stand up for yourself and do what you want, instead of sacrificing or compromising yourself. Unfortunately, the stories we read or the series we see, women are always depicted as goddess who will only give. They will never expect anything in back. And if they are doing like that only, they are a good female. Even in movies, and a lot of movies I used to see, somebody will be MD, they will be IPS officer, and they have to give up their career, come and cook for their husband. They are the best women. Those who are going for career, they will be showed as with so much of attitude and not good for family. Unfortunately, these are the stereotypes still exist. So you just need to break it. And as you start moving, as you are happy, everybody will be happy around you. Just stick to your core system and make them to understand what you want. For that, first you need to understand what you want. Pardon me for the long answer, but I think I have to say this.
Still, Cynthia, is very well said. And while we're reminiscing, we've had a few guests from our previous episodes who've sent a special message for you and the show. So let's play that.
Yeah, interesting.
Video interactions, engagements do not come easy to me. So when Scindia reached out, I wasn't very sure about it. However, she, Nirupama, and a team that was behind the scenes made it really comfortable. Thank you, everyone, for inviting me on Move Her, the leadership series that you carried out.
Shalini.
Congratulations to MOV Lead Her team. I'm very glad that I had an opportunity to meet you folks and also had an opportunity to share my journey with this group. It's amazing platform where you are able to bring a lot of women role models and then create an impact to all of the young women who are trying to build their career. So it's such an amazing platform. I hope you will continue more seasons and more episodes, and wishing you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepa.
Hi everyone, I'm Chef Priya. I'm working as a senior director for the Big Data Platform Infrastructure and Engineering at PayPal. It's been my privilege to be part of LeadHERs initiative, and thanks a lot to Scindia for hosting me in episode 15. I must say, this is truly a fantastic initiative by MOV to publish the LeadHERs podcast series. It serves as a great resource for women to listen, learn, and get inspiration from one another across the globe. This is more pertinent, especially during the pandemic, where we are struggling with so many odds and to find time for self development. It's such a wholesome and rejuvenating experience of hearing to diverse, successful women leaders and entrepreneurs, getting their valuable and curated insights and nuggets of wisdom in a platter, I must say, is indeed a fortune. Thanks, and kudos to everyone supporting this wonderful endeavor and accomplishing this amazing milestone of celebrating 25 inspiring women leaders. Wholeheartedly wishing this team all success in this front.
Very nice to see that.
Yes, India, truly. We've had
In
some
fact, I
really.
just wanted to add on the example of community building. Actually, Deepa herself is owning a great community platform called Shivol. So, with this connection, I did 2 sessions on Shivol's community. So, this is how the ripple effect grows, right? So, yeah.
You truly built a pretty great community here on leaders, and I mean, through the show, even I got to meet a lot of women leaders, and my network's also grown through the 10 months. And now, so I know this episode was supposed to be just like you and me reminiscing on the previous season, but we have some very special guests joining us today. On the show, we've talked about so many leaders and mentors, but today we have Scindia's very own mentees joining us on the show. So let's welcome Nandita Menon and Prakshit Singh. Thank you guys for joining us. And would you like to introduce yourselves, Nandita?
Right. So, hi everyone. I am actually part of Scindia's team. She is my manager. But like she said, it's more than that. We're also very good friends. So, I'm excited to be here today and talk about my experiences with Scindia. I work as a content lead for the ISV marketing team, which is headed by Scindia.
That's great. And Prakshit?
Hey, hi, I'm Prakshit, and I am working with Cynthia for last almost 4 years. It's always means I've never felt like we have spent 4 years together. It's just we have met, and it's like I'm learning every day many things from her. So I'm sure that it's gonna be 40. Means we are going to complete 4 decades now. So we are hoping for that.
Thank you, Prakshit.
Okay, great. Now,
Traction
Scindia's.
handles US and rest of the world. That means minus Europe, all other regions. ISV partner marketing is owned by Rakshit, and we share a trivia that from my previous organization, she is continuing the journey with me.
Oh, that's great. So now these two have something prepared, so I'm just going to drop off.
Okay. Yes, Prakshit, what do you have for me?
Yeah. So for you, Cynthia, many congratulations for completing your leader session one. You are
Thank
such
you.
an amazing mentor, a good friend, and a true leader. You have always converted my strengths, my weakness. You have learned, you know everything. What is my lessons? What I have should do, what I should not do, what I should avoid. It's always so exciting and so encouraging to work with you. Her words. Means I will never forget in my life like few words which you have told me. It's always there in my mind. Actually, you have believed in many places where I didn't believe in myself, and I know it has turned to be wonders. So now I can believe on one person whom I can means I can trust closing my eyes that okay whatever she is saying is it's good for my future and I can do that. It's lots of I get lots of positivity motivation seeing you doing wonders here in workplace and obviously in society too. I'm seeing you many things you have done here for the society in the for the women for the people who are around surrounded by you. So it's so nice to see you always. I'm sure that you will do and you in your language you will do left wonders left right and center, and you're always an inspiration to me. I hope to inspire others as you have inspired me. I really count myself to be very lucky and I treasure whatever I have learned from you. More and more power to you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being such a good mentor. Thank you.
Thank you, Prakshit. Do you want to ask me anything?
Um, Yeah, just want to know when you are going to start your leader journey. As in, from leaders, I want to see you as a leader and changing the society, because I see we need a good leader in every place in our country.
So this is like Prakshit, just to fill audience in. Prakshit will feel, except marketing, I'm good for everything else. She will say that you can be a motivational speaker, you can be a politician, you can be a course content writer, so she can give me a number of other things. I think she always want me to move out of marketing so that she can actually have some headroom for growth on a lighter note. But to be honest, Prakshit, maybe you have foreseen me being one of the industry speakers much earlier than even I thought about that. Honestly, I never fix a goal and go towards it. Rather than, I'll just go with the flow and I'll try to do my best as much as possible, and for my ecosystem also. That is something I always feel. Because the ecosystem in which we are, we should keep it. It's always like, no, when you keep your home happy, you will also be happy. The same way, the ecosystem you are in, if you are keeping that happy, you will also have a better place to flourish and live. That's whatever best I can do to the betterment of fellow female colleagues, I will be more honored to do ever, Prakshit. Thank you for that wonderful notes from your side. I know it's been kind of, so much of tons of ice was flowing on me, but on the other side, nobody can come on their own. So that is something, right? No one person's job is anything. So I maybe face off something, but team is something always made me to do wonders, as you call in your language. So I'm so lucky to always to get such a wonderful team, and still you all are there as part of this wonderful team. Thanks once again, even for coming to taking your time and coming to the show also, Prakshit. So
It's always
Nandita, what
my
do you have
pleasure.
for me? Nandita, what do you have for me?
I'm thinking maybe I should have gone first because Rakshit got to cover all of the lovely things already.
Role, right? For
But
sure.
I will add on for sure. So I think our history is a little shorter than what you and Prakshit already have. But I think I had the great pleasure of actually knowing you as a colleague first before as a mentor. And I can say that, it's only been an upward graph, so to speak. It was great having you as a colleague and working with you almost like a peer. And then, of course, to have you as a manager has done amazing things for me personally as an individual. It has helped me grow as a person, as a leader, and all of that. And of course, it's something that, like Prakshit said, it's aspirational and inspirational to see what you do and how you do it every day. Perhaps my favorite thing about you is just how it doesn't matter what we're doing, right? It could be your podcast, it could be a stand up meeting, it could be our potluck lunch or game night. The enthusiasm and the commitment is always 100%. And that's something that I think I speak on behalf of all of us when I say it's something we all strive to have for ourselves in now and always going forward. So I think it goes without saying that, of course, we all look up to you as a leader, as a woman leader, especially personally for me. I love that I have someone who understands what I would like from my career and, is helping me very actively shape and grow it. And I can only say thank you. And I look forward to being a part of your incredible journey in some small way. So always, best wishes and luck from my end for you. You know that. But yeah, I do have like one question. It's a slightly less, not as fun as Prakshit's maybe. So one thing that, maybe something even our audience might enjoy is like, it doesn't matter who you are. There's always there's always this one voice or one sliver of self-doubt that will always follow anybody no matter what. So how do you personally like overcome that or silence that voice?
So see, for one thing, I'm not sure that whether I'm giving you a right answer, but how I do always is introspection and retrospection. I do that a lot. If you ask me, my mentor used to tell me the best thing about you is, Cynthia, you know what is possible, what is not possible by you. So I'm very, very, very clear certain things I have as my weakness. So I know. So I will try hard, but otherwise I will manage that to an
Yeah.
extent. I always believe in like give more power to your strength, manage your weakness by teaming up with the right people who are having that potential. instead of trying to do everything on your own. So that is how I silence my voice, inner voice of doubt, Nandita. See, for instance, I am very bad in Excel. I'm very bad in PPT. Maybe I'm not so good in content writing like you. So that's where I come and team up with you or with Prakshit. Prakshit is so good in numbers and presentations, which I can only give the flow and give the inputs, and she can get going. Same way with you, I can see the idea, talk about the campaign, and you come up with the exciting messaging and the content. So I know my weakness, and I team up with team members who can, fill in that. So instead of having a self doubt, I used to believe in somebody else to fill in that self doubt and go forward it instead of stopping there. I'm not
Yeah.
sure whether I gave you the right answer. This is what I do.
No, I think it definitely also, it comes into your honest belief that the team is one family and one unit, and
Yeah.
that's how we can help each other and grow together, which is, I think, my second favorite thing about you after the the enthusiasm and your commitment. It's that I think that's something it has helped all of us. I'm speaking on behalf of everyone now, that get through the lockdown to have a supportive manager and a leader who understood not just the work pressure but also personal commitments and all of that, and has just definitely kept us motivated and kept us centered through all of this.
So same thing goes to all of you, right? So I always learn every leader is a woman. So that's how I look into this. So for instance, Prakshit is a perfectionist. I have always seen. So I used to envy that, and I used to capitalize as much as possible that thing. You were an innovative person, and one thing I like about you is, Nandita, the one team approach you also do. That the kind of ideas you come up with to make everybody comfortable, everybody motivated. In the tough times, you, Prakshit, Neha, everybody came together and tried building that happy environment around. So maybe this supportive system, if people are not trying to do everything on their own, I think there will not be much stress in the world or much pressure in the world. If they are trying to do it together, I think they can go for a greater mile. So I always feel very pity for those who trying to do everything on their own and feel that I have done everything. I always used to think that that's not the right way at all, and everybody should do it together. That's why there is a team, right, in the companies or anyway. So in that way, thank you for being an amazing support, girls, to do all these things. You have done all my work pretty cool there. That's why I'm able to spend time in this kind of initiatives. Thanks once again for taking your time and coming to the show, Nandita and Prakshit. Thanks a lot.
Of course,
Thank
India,
you.
anytime.
Pleasure is ours.
Thank you for joining us, guys. So that was Cynthia's mentees, and we hope you enjoyed that segment. Finally, while we are wrapping up, we'd just like to say that every ending is a new beginning, and we would like to end this session with new hope. We'll be back with a new season very soon with a little twist. And Cynthia, would you like to shed some light on this?
Sure. So, as we discussed, the first season is more about celebrating women leaders and sharing their inspiring stories, which will help the fellow women community to draw inspiration from and learn some hacks here and there. But the season two, we wanted to further niche. So we wanted to have this session very informative. So now also we spoke about a lot about mentoring. So that is very key. I was also telling I was looking for some mentors to guide me to break these challenges and move forward. So this season is all about action points you will take away at the end of every season. So it can be women in sales, women in product, women in technology, so and so. So right from breaking into that career, into the particular field, what hard skills, soft skills you need to have, what hacking tips they can give, who the women leader who is shining in that field will come and give us. And moreover that, if you're a beginner or if you're in the mid level and you just accelerating your journey to the leadership later, what all the challenges you will face and how to break it, and what kind of mindset you have to be in. So those kind of very action oriented takeaway episode we are going to do. So season 2, you can look for something very informative and very useful to all of you. That's the commitment I'm giving on behalf of MOV Leaders team.
Exactly. And again, on behalf of the team, we will be back very soon with a very new kind of, MOV leaders. So stay tuned for that. And until then, this is Anusha and Scindia signing off for the very last time from season one of MOV Leaders.
Thank
Goodbye.
you, everyone. And thank you, Anusha, for making me the 25th leader of season one. Thank you.